mother is first generation Egyptian. Her family, her mother, grandparents, ancestors come from Aleppo, Syria. So she is considered a Syrian Jew. However, my father's side, his ancestors started in Spain, and right after the Inquisition, our social life was mostly with family. And uncles, aunts, cousins, and we would go to the synagogue for the holidays to celebrate. We would go with uncles and cousins to a big garden called the Jardin des Plantes, and we would have picnics. And summertime, the norm was to leave Cairo and to go to the Mediterranean. When the Seder was read during the Passover, the Haggadah, I think there was a sense of pride. We are the Jews. We are in Egypt. But they still long to go to Jerusalem. I still have nightmares is when they were putting the city Cairo on fire during the revolution in 1952. And they were getting rid of King Farouk. I was very young, very little, and the city was black, and there were fire everywhere. And I remember the Arab, the Muslim, the Egyptian, walking in the streets, holding big knives, saying, "We're going to kill the Jews. Where are the Jews? Any Jews around here?" And we would hide in the basement, turn all the lights off, just shivering, shaking from fear. We left Egypt in 1956. One day, 2 officers came knocking at the door, presenting my father with papers and telling him, "You have 48 hours for you and your family to leave this country." So you can imagine. This is mom and dad and 4 children. And you can only take a suitcase and maybe 2 bracelets and whatever. The ship was Greek, and of course it was not a deluxe ship, and we were not going on the best stateroom. We were way down, and when you leave, when you go on a ship in October on the Mediterranean, the seas were so choppy, horrible, stormy, and we were all crying and vomiting, thinking that we're not going to get out of this alive. And we got off the ship, and we were welcomed and helped, not only by the French government, but also by HIAS, the Hebrew Immigration Association or whatever. And they took us in buses to a place where they were receiving the refugees. And now we're in Miami. I'm speaking with an accent, yet I was very ambitious and I wanted to really be part of this Jewish community. And I remember when they would ask me, "Where are you from?" And I was embarrassed to say I'm from Egypt. I would say I'm from France. And then eventually I said, "Oh, screw it. I'm from Egypt, but I'm French." And then people would say, "Oh, you mean there are Jews in Egypt?" They didn't know that Jews really came from Egypt. I feel my past is a total void. I have no friends from my childhood. Because when the Jews left Egypt, when they were expelled, they were scattered around the world. My heart is Egypt as a Jew. France is here. France is very important, French. America is also important to me because that's where we were accepted, breeding, and that's my home. I love America, but in my heart, it's France and Egypt. You know, it's very deep inside me.